Okay. Go ahead and bring us up, please. All right, we're back in session, and we have the assessor. Go ahead and introduce yourselves and start off.
Okay. I'm Anita Hymas, Bannock County Assessor.
Randy Hobson, Chief Deputy Assessor.
Okay. Just go through your highlights and what you're requesting. Go on.
Okay. Let me see. We're out here. So in the assessor budget, the only thing that I'm really changing a lot is postage. I've lowered it again. However, the only concern I have is we are going to start virtual appointments, and so we'll have to cover some of that postage, but I can't imagine that's going to be a whole lot. So I think we'll be okay, because we still have some money in the budget from this fiscal year. In fact, we haven't even touched it.
Okay.
So we can roll that over into the mailroom trust.
Okay.
And then if we drop that mail budget down to 2,500, I think we'll be okay.
Okay. But then if we find out we have a problem, we can just up it the following year.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Computer supplies, I'm sorry, I jumped. I'm sorry, I went down. Computer supplies will go back up. I did drop that to, let's see, oh, I'm in the appraisal budget, sorry. On computer supplies on assessor, I did lower it to 3,000, and that's only if we need some different things, because we might have to do some upgrading, but we shouldn't have to do a lot, because their computers, we let them have county computers, but they also have ITD computers, and ITD supplies all that for them. So we do have that out there just in case we do need it.
Okay. Have you worked with Adam on if you have any needs that need replaced?
He's not aware of any.
Okay. So this would just be contingency? in
Yeah,
case
this
some-
is
okay.
just, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And I left their travel in there. They don't, if they travel, ITD usually covers it, but if for some reason they don't, or if myself or Randy had to go with them, we would be covered. So I left that in there as well.
For $1,000.
Yeah. Because honestly, they don't travel a lot. They have like 1 or 2 conferences a year. And yeah, they don't really do a lot. And ITD really covers the majority of their costs. Any questions?
And then on salaries, we did put 25% of their pay back in assessor's budget,
Sorry.
just to have
Appraisal budget.
25% is in assessor, sorry, the difference is in appraisal.
This says 25% in appraisal.
That shouldn't,
It should be swapped, right?
this is only 25% in here.
Oh, I see what you mean.
75% is in appraisal. So we just need to fix that note.
Yeah, the note is
Because
confusing.
I think the chief deputy makes more than,
No, you can see it's backwards.
yeah. So we'll fix
Yeah.
that note.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only other thing, and I just threw this out there because I know we had discussed it before, of maybe allowing the girls, when they go to do vid inspections, to have like a polo shirt that identifies them. I don't know. And that was just a thought. Because I'm going to ask that for my appraisers as well. But yeah,
Is that enough to,
I have it on a uniform line.
Uniform.
And I
Mhm.
kind of took
Down
that
at the
from,
bottom. $750.
yeah,
And that would just be like 1 shirt a year.
yeah.
Okay.
Just a thought. And other than that, I'm not making a lot of changes to that. I have been in touch with Christy, because we might need to look at upping our title. We don't have a title fee really right now. We have a registration fee, but not a title fee. And we might have to look at, depending on how we look at with our revenues, I know we haven't been able to get together on that yet, but maybe upping a title fee. I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah.
But in this virtual thing we're going to, we will be able to recoup some, and it's just registrations, it's not titles. So it's just reg, and I don't know how many we'll be doing, but we'll be able to get our admin fee, which is $6, but then we also have to pay for postage. So it's kind of going to be
Is that a state system or is that a system you're gonna buy?
the what?
Is that a state system or what?
Yeah, that will be the state system as
Okay.
well. Yeah, and we're starting to set it up. Yeah.
Okay.
And just to warn you, Tony said he's gonna arm wrestle you.
Who's going to arm wrestle me?
Tony Manu.
Well, I will win.
And you know what it's over?
You need to hit the
Just tell it, yeah, I do. And I will win.
But we're not gonna try to move forward with that, at
course.
least this budget year.
Yeah.
We'll have that conversation later,
Yeah,
so.
no, I agree.
But he said that he would arm wrestle you.
Yeah.
See who's in
And again,
charge.
I will win. And it depends on how you look at whether you're
And
winning
you're
or
on
not.
camera doing it.
But we will look at revenues again before the clerk's recommendation and see
Yeah, where we're at.
if we're gonna need to add a fee or if we're still looking okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, to add a fee scares me because then are we pushing more people away? Because they can do things online a lot cheaper. Yeah. So,
Not society anymore.
yeah, that's where it's headed.
Okay,
Okay, so
No
any
questions?
questions?
okay, appraisal is page 66.
Did you have anything? Okay. In appraisal, the only thing I did in the A budget was I did put in a retirement payout. One of our employees will be going in September of next year. And so I had a payout kind of figured. So, and I had talked with Caitlin about our appraisal assistant, who retired also. And so that actual salary will go down because she was in a higher grade than the other assistants because of her past job title, I guess. And so when we replace that position, she'll go back to it, that position will go back to the current grade. And Caitlin and I had talked about that. And so those are the only things I did up there. Okay. And then down in the B budget, so, let's see, I left office supplies the same. On postage, I lowered our postage as well. But I know that we had a discussion, Christie, about our master's touch. And so I don't know,
I'll look and see where that fits.
yeah, because right now we have that amount in professional services.
Right.
And so,
Your
And-
postage, you went down $2,500?
Yeah.
How can you do that?
well, because we're not mailing anything out anymore.
Because what?
We don't mail any of our circuit breakers out anymore, or our PTRs. We don't mail those out anymore. It's all done digitally. We do mail a little postcard out. Last year, we went to that. But otherwise, we really don't do a lot of mailing anymore.
So we just need to look and see how the split is with Master's Touch. We've done it two different ways, that we paid for the postage out of the postage part because we paid them the postage, and then we pay for the actual labor out of the contract labor. So I just need to verify that there's sufficient split between the two.
And right now, we have a lot of money in the mail trust, quite a bit of money in the mail trust. And so we haven't even really touched what we asked for last year. We haven't even touched it, so, yeah. So, and I will tell you that on travel, I am asking for a little bit of an increase due to the fact that motels and stuff has gone up.
And this is one area that,
You have something to say?
You know, they got this new thing called Airbnbs. Have you heard of that?
They what?
Nothing. I'm just
You
making
guys should do an
sure.
Airbnb? We could do that.
No, I just utilized that in Coeur d'Alene and it saved me a fortune.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, well, we'll keep that thought in mind. But, so I have asked a little bit of a bump there. We're sending quite a few, we're sending quite a few people to summer school this year because we kind of didn't the last year or so because we wanted to keep costs down, and now we're in a pinch because now we have to send almost every one of our appraisers to summer school. And so I'd like to be able to keep it so that we can just keep them steady, so we're not trying to catch up every couple of years, because they have to have 32 credits every year. State, I will say, is doing a ton better with doing more locally or regional classes. In fact, I'm sending one of my appraisers to a regional class in October so she can become certified rather than send her to summer school, and because it's less expensive. So kind of asked for a bump there. On the leased vehicle, I have a question. So we're not going to do our leased vehicle anymore, correct? So what do we have, are we involved in that payout? Should I have put,
Nope.
okay. that's-
assuming I can figure out how to print invoices, or if Shanda knows how, we actually are supposed to have access to the invoices now, so those will be paid and done.
Okay, so I don't have to put that, the
Nope.
payout in my
Nope.
budget. Okay,
We'll have
that
that
was
done
my
this year.
question. I didn't know if I needed to. And again, I put $2,000 in line item 61,500 for, again, either a jacket or a polo for my appraisers
When they go out.
when they go out. And they probably need it more than anybody.
Yeah. Fine.
And we, okay, so, professional, let's see, which one did I take?
Professional services, you zeroed
Professional
out.
services, that's the one I took. Yeah, so, last year, I had asked for money in that line, so if we needed to get an industrial appraiser, and that didn't really work out, but now we have some new people at the state that are good, and they're actually training us. They actually trained us this year on what we call Section 42 housing, because normally we used to have them do it, and now they've trained us, so we're capable of doing it in-house now, and so we're looking at that for industrial as well. And they have some new positions over there that are being really helpful. So I actually took that out, at $15,000 out. However, then I got to thinking about it, and I kind of would like to do, if possible, something along the lines, and it wouldn't cost $15,000, but something along the lines of doing some team building, kind of like planning and zoning does, or has done, and add some, so I kind of am sorry I took that whole $15,000 out.
Were you thinking like the Black River
Yeah.
leadership,
Yeah.
something?
Education.
Yeah.
Do you have their contact information still?
Yeah.
Maybe get a hold of them and see what they would charge you.
Okay.
And then if you can provide that to us, we'll see if we can fit it back in.
Okay.
She and I already talked about that.
Yeah, I visited, yeah. Okay. And I, again, added a little bit to our chief deputy travel and my travel and the education for both of us a little bit. I bumped it up a little bit from 4,000 to 5,000. And Other than that, I think that's all I have, unless you guys have tons of cool, what? Oh, yeah, sorry, thank you. So, and we had gotten with Kyle Burmester, and he had us put in capital outlay, $27,000 about, for a new vehicle to replace our Trailblazer. And I kind of asked him to, well, I did ask him to do a four-wheel drive if possible, so we can get up around some of the cell tower sites and those kind of things that we need to get to. So that was his figure he gave me.
Well, he was good until then.
That's what I thought. So you have, one of the things that we've talked about before is right sizing for vehicles. And do you feel like you're getting right there? Do you need to replace that vehicle? Or do you have enough vehicles, because every appraiser isn't going out every day, right? So can they share vehicles?
They do share vehicles. To me, that Trailblazer, okay, I'm probably going to go on record saying this, but I don't know that it needs to be replaced. I mean, we only use it if we have to go up into, like I said, if we go up into Thunder Mountain areas, if we go up to the cell towers. But Kyle felt like it needed to be replaced. I mean, I'm going off of Kyle's recommendation. He feels like it needs to be replaced. I can't remember how many miles.
And that's an area where, if we're talking about adding a pickup to the pool, you go how many times a year?
Well, in the fall, we're gone a lot up in those areas, yeah.
But I mean,
Even still.
that means a pull truck would be out here, four-wheel drive, that you could utilize, and other departments could utilize it too, instead of just sticking it in one department and somebody sitting here that you use 2 months out of the year compared to a pool vehicle. I think that's part of the discussion we have with right sizing and.
Right. Carrie and I were talking about this same issue today, when I was talking about our meeting this morning with the liabilities of driving, and on election days when I put deputy clerks in their own vehicles because they can't carry the things that we need to for elections.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I've taken everything from generators and cords to shovels and this and that, whatever it is, in my truck, and I'm the only one that can do it because I have a truck. Whereas if we have a motor pool vehicle that's a truck, that'd be great.
So would I be able to still keep my Trailblazer then, our Trailblazer? Because we do utilize it.
I can't remember if they're gonna trade that Trailblazer. I can look at this documents downstairs, and I can't remember if they were gonna sell it or, it doesn't look like they sold it to a new department, so I don't know what they were gonna do with that.
And our problem too is with using a pool, I get what you're saying, however, there's random times that we might need it that won't be available. And we do use them a lot between August and February, March. Yeah, so I don't know.
I think it would work. Christie would just put a hold on it for those months that you're using it more often. It's really easy to get, it is so easy to get a car from the motor pool. It is the easiest thing. And she'll switch them around. She's super easy to work with. And so if you're gonna need that, even at the drop of a hat, she'll just switch it out with somebody else that might be using it and say, the assessor needs to have this vehicle because it's a four-wheel drive truck. And
the truth of the matter is, we have Dan's that he's easy to work with too. I think the right sizing and stuff is a key thing. Something that we're gonna use, for less than 5,000 miles a year. Why do we want to spend $30,000, $40,000 on something that we're not utilizing? Is the key. So, and we're going to have more discussions on vehicles anyway. But
right, we'll talk about it more, but we'll leave it in there.
Okay. Okay, so unless you have any other questions, that's my piece.
Comments, questions?
Nope, I'm just so impressed with the assessors department.
Well, no doubt.
Yeah.
I just want to know when we're going to schedule the arm wrestling. I got to make sure I'm here.
We're gonna make sure that we have the video up, and we're gonna sell tickets. We're gonna make some money on this thing.
We'll get some good revenues.
Yeah, we should just do it out there at North Gate.
I will start getting some tips from Jeff and muscles built up.
You'll do it, Jim.
All right, with